Orale! Bienvenidos and welcome to the Familia FFP podcast. We are on YouTube, Familia. Please give us a like and subscribe. Make sure you're following us. Get those notifications so you know when we're going live, like right now. Also, please make sure you're following us at familiaffb.com, and you got me at Twitter at Jorge Martin17. So let us get into it. Familia, I know it's Movember. And I know I had a mustache. Well, my daughters made me promise that I would shave it last week. So I am growing it back. So temporarily, I've changed Movember into Novembeard. So vamos a ver, poquito así, aquí, acá, a little salt and pepper. But hey, you know what? I'm looking to bring back the mustache. Just again, always remember, take care of your mental health, amigos. I'm talking to you, all the men out there who've got too much pride to seek some help. Take care of your mental health. And Familia, this is a special week because we have some Familia birthdays that are happening. We're recording this on November 16th. Yesterday was my sister Dorita. It was her birthday. Happy birthday, bebe. Also, my tia Chaya, tia Ramona, sister to my mother. Today is the birthday of my brother from another mother, Jojo Narduli, mi amigo, the best man at our wedding. Love you, man. Happy birthday. Also, my prima Fabiola. Happy birthday to you, Fabiola Torres. And tomorrow, November 17th, it's my birthday, familia. Gracias. I'll be celebrating different ways. Probably won't be dropping a podcast tomorrow. So, but you know, I might be creating a little bit of something, getting ready for another one. And also on Thursday, November 18th, my primas Jessica and Nanny it is their birthdays. Nanny Benavides, she is born exactly 25 hours after I was born. So she's almost kind of like my birthday twin than everything else. So familia, happy birthday. And so we're celebrating Otro Año de Vida, and I also wanted to give a shout out the last couple of weekends. Been to a couple of Familia weddings. Gabby and Coley was last weekend in San Diego. The previous weekend was cousin Juan Ramon and his wife Lily. So felicidades to everybody. I'm so happy, so proud of you, and just so excited to have been able to share and celebrate todo lo bueno de la vida with Familia, and that was just so special. And the brides got to enjoy or endure, in some instances, the Familia tradition of everybody singing Suavecito. So it was, as always, it's such a good time. But I mean, gosh, it's a lifetime memory, and we're happy to do this for everybody. And God, I just can't say enough. Familia is special. That's why we started Familia FFB. And this being a birthday week, my gift to you is the week 11 Los Peekups. And if you're looking for another week of life in your leagues, and with the fantasy playoffs coming up about a month from now, listen up, Familia. These are waiver wire moves that could help you win this week and the rest of the season. So it's all players who've been rostered in about 50% or less of Yahoo leagues. Some of these are return players that I'm really expecting that you guys are going to pick them up so that they don't end up on this list anymore. So let's get into Los Peekups. Vámonos. All right, quarterbacks. Mac Jones, it's the Mac attack at Atlanta this week. He's rostered in 28% of leagues. The Falcons are giving out 253.8 passing yards since week 7, and Jones has 2 or more touchdowns in three of those games. Special note, kind of looking ahead a little bit, if you're looking for a quarterback that could stick around with you into the fantasy playoffs, week 17, the Patriots have a home date against the Jaguars. So if you want to look ahead a little bit, think about that. Also, Justin Fields, home against Baltimore this week, 25%. He's coming off a bye this week. So really hoping that there's a better understanding of the offense for him, and just growing off of the momentum that he built in the last couple of weeks, especially the last week, Monday Night Football at Pittsburgh. Heinz Field was just a madhouse, and this kid threw for 291 yards and rushed for another 45 yards, got a touchdown pass in there. Familia, I think this kid's growing into something and fulfilling all that potential that he's got. So let's hope that this is continuation of a growing trend. The Ravens have been they've given up 400-yard passing weeks a couple of times. The most recently was to Carson Wentz on Monday Night Football. So think about that one. The next one, keep hope alive. There is always time for a sequel. Rockies, all the Friday the 13th movies. Well, we've got Top Gun, the sequel coming out in December. Well, we got a sequel, Cam Newton in Carolina. And this is as excited as you're going to see after you had a quarterback run for pass for 8 yards and run for 14 yards. I know he got 2 touchdowns in there, but believe me, Familia, there's hope in Carolina. The defense is balling out, and Christian McCaffrey is back, and now you got Cam in kind of like what's I think is going to become more of a run first offense. He's going to run quite a bit, throw enough to just kind of keep things interesting. You got to get him in your super flex leagues, Familia. Get him as a quarterback from those super flex leagues. Last quarterback that we're going to talk about, Tua Tagovailoa, the Jets. They are at the Jets. He's rostered in 23% of leagues. The Jets have allowed 320.8 passing yards and 12 touchdowns since week 6. So Tua has looked good. He came in that second half last week. So, and he was, he threw for over 150 yards in there. He's been pretty good in plus matchups against the Jaguars and against the Falcons. The Jets are another good matchup. All right, let's get to the running backs. Only a couple to talk about here. Rhamondre Stevenson at Atlanta. 32% of leagues is where he's rostered. This guy's coming off a week where he got 114 total yards and 2 touchdowns. So he is on the radar for both Patriots fans and you fantasy managers. The Falcons, they're number 28 against the running back, and they're giving up 112.2 rushing yards per game on the season. It's a Thursday night game. Damian Harris, who would be likely sharing some carries with Stevenson. He returned to practice today, but it was a walkthrough, so there's no telling if he's going to be back completely out of the concussion protocol and active for this game. So kind of keep an eye on this. But Stevenson, you got to get him in your lineup, because you know what? The Patriots are going to use him, especially as we get into a little more of the into that running season that we call November and December. Next one, Deontay Foreman for the Tennessee Titans. He's home against New Orleans. He's rostered in 6% of leagues. I know he rushed for only 30 yards last week, but he did catch 2 balls for 48 yards. Yeah, you'll take 78 total yards from a waiver wire pickup. And this is a guy who's really showing, I know it's a 3-headed monster over there with AP, as well as ¿Cómo se llama ese? Jeremy McNichols. But you want Foreman on your roster. This may be a rough week because New Orleans has a really good defense, but for the rest of the season, Foreman could be helping you because they've got a great run blocking scheme, and they in Tennessee, and they're just balling out right now. And Foreman may be just the best guy in that lineup, in that committee. Few receivers to talk about. Rashad Bateman, Familia. What do I have to do to get him above 50% so I can stop talking about him? This guy's got 28 targets in his last 4 games, 80 receiving yards twice. The Bears are number 27 against the wide receiver, and they're giving up 194 receiving yards just to the wide receivers alone. He's at Chicago this week. This guy is worth picking up. He's getting targets. So, what else do we need to say? The next one that we're going to talk about, Kadarius Toney at Tampa Bay. He's rostered 46% of leagues. Now, it's been a couple weeks that he's had a little more time to recover from that ankle injury. The Bucs have not allowed a 100-yard receiver since week 3. They're getting back to health from some of the early injuries to their secondary, but this might be the week to pick up Toney and see if that 189-yard game that he had in week 5 is for real, and that it's really a building block. So maybe stash him on your bench for a week, but he could be helping you. Next one, Darnell Mooney. So we talked about Justin Fields, Mooney has 5 targets, has between 5 and 9 targets in each game that he's played in since week 5. And the Ravens saw Jamar Chase explode for 201 yards in week 5. And since then, no receivers had more than 87 receiving yards. But Familia, if Fields is improving, Mooney has been his number 1 target. He's a guy to think about getting in your lineup. Brian Edwards for the Raiders, Los Raiders, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. He's rostered in 18% of leagues. I know last week he saw 4 targets, which was much better than the previous week where he had 0 catches, but he turned it into 3 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. The Raiders need someone to kind of like stretch the field a little more. That's why they signed Deshaun Jackson, but Edwards is kind of like that traditional kind of like field stretching receiver. He's got great ability all over the place. He just needs to get unlocked and hopefully fulfill that great potential. The Bengals have been getting beaten by the wide receiver the last 3 games, so look at him to get in your lineup. Let's go to the tight ends. Tyler Conklin, muchas gracias for saving me in the Scott Fishbowl last week with those 2 touchdowns. He's taking on the Green Bay Packers and he's rostered in 30% of leagues. So, it's not the pick that you're looking to make, not the sexy pick, but this is a tight end. You can't be picky on those. It's 1 a.m. at the bar at this point. This is a guy who has 19 targets in the last 3 games. Travis Kelce and Gerald Everett have both surpassed 60 receiving yards against the Packers of late. So Tyler Conklin could be a play. I'm going to keep playing him in the Scott Fishbowl. The other tight end to talk about, Dan Arnold, going up against San Francisco in this week. 26% of leagues is where he's rostered. Este hombre, he has 24 targets in the last 3 games, and he's turned it into 17 catches for 195 yards. He's getting the volume. He's the most voluminous receiver, pass catcher, anything, tight end, wide receiver, running back that the Jaguars have. The 49ers have yet to allow a tight end to go past 38 yards since week 1. So, but again, this is a volume play, and this is a guy that could be in your roster for the remainder of the season if you're looking to cut someone that just hasn't been performing. I'm talking about you, Evan Ingram. All right, last bit. Streaming defense of the week, Miami. They're going down. They're going up to New Jersey, take on the New York Jets. They're rostered in 27% of leagues. Let's talk about what they've done in the last 2 weeks. This defense alone. 19 points allowed, 9 sacks, 6 turnovers, 1 touchdown, at least 22% fantasy points in each week. That's about what Cooper Kupp did on Monday Night Football against the 49ers. Familia. This defense may just be for real, though. That secondary is getting back to health. Maybe they're giving them enough time to get those sacks and kind of wreak havoc what Brian Flores kind of brought from the New England days. So, familia, eso es todo for our show. Otra vez, thank you to YouTube. Please make sure to like and subscribe us. Por favor, just go to Familia FFB. Also, if you want to go to Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Special thanks to Anchor for putting us out there. Make sure to give us a follow on there. Go to familiaffb.com for our latest content, including an article that's going this, and all our YouTube videos our audio podcasts are archived on there. Also, please follow me at Jorge Martin 17 and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Go to Familia FFB. You got us there. Otra vez, familia, to my familia that celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. And to you, vamos a celebrar la vida, porque todos somos familia. Salud.